guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I am so freaking excited to even be saying these words. Welcome to Youtober 2020. This is honestly, I've just been, 2020 hasn't graced us with a lot of great things. So it kind of worked out that Youtober this year is the 5th year. It being 2020, I figured I would just go ham this Youtober with all the fall stuff and just create an entire vibe that we can cocoon ourselves into, stay cozy in until November 1st. So starting off with day one, I figured I would do a plan with me because I wanted to share with you guys just how I planned for this month, how I planned for a big work goal in general, because I'm going to show you not only my personal planning system, but I'm also going to share with you guys how I schedule out my content, including how I scheduled out Youtober itself, and just basically the systems that I use to keep my head on straight this time of the year. I like to consider Youtober like my own YouTube finals, because it's like definitely the peak busiest time of year for me, and if I don't have my shit in order, I've learned from other years that everything falls apart and I just get way too stressed. So first things first, I'm going to share with you guys how I do my personal bullet journaling system. I picked bullet journaling back up in July and it has literally changed my life. This helped heal me a lot this summer, and it helps me keep my head on straight despite how freaking busy everything is. Like, I feel like I've really nailed down the spreads that I actually use and what I find to be super beneficial to me. Let's start there and then we'll move into how exactly I planned out everything for Youtober. So this year I decided to sketch everything out in pencil first. I'd love to be able to freehand bullet journals, but that's just not the case for me. So I did the front cover this year just as October 2020 with leaves and a pumpkin and an acorn. I kind of kept it pretty basic. Then the next page I decided to do a full monthly calendar. This is really important for me to just get an overview of my month. Now I'll write down whatever important dates and uploads I have, but I don't really use my bullet journal for work. I keep everything organized in terms of uploads in here, but that's pretty much it. And then any kind of important dates I need to remember. And then I always like to have a section off to the side that are basically my work goals and my personal goals for the month. There's always a couple things that I need to get done that never have a specific way to work into routines and things like that. And then I just left a little section towards the bottom that says notes, and I put my notes in there that I'm going to be in Ottawa come October. So I mean, that's the plan thus far. So flipping to the next page, this has been my newest addition to my bullet journal spreads. I feel like I always end up doing this after I do my bullet journaling. I'll be within the random day or week and I'll just feel like I need to hammer down my routine, especially when I'm this busy. Always ends up kind of going in between the days. So this month I decided to put it towards the front with all of my other stuff. So this is my weekly routine and my daily routine. I just like having this here just for an overview or a reference whenever I'm just kind of feeling especially because I work for myself, when I'm what am I supposed to be doing right now? 3 days of the week that I focus on filming and creating content, actually capturing it. 3 days of the week that I focus on just being on my computer, editing everything down, answering more emails, doing more management work, doing more scheduling of videos, because as much as the filming part is heavy, it's the editing, the scheduling, and all of the minor details of all of these videos that take the biggest amount of time. That's why I work 6 days a week around this time of year. Normally on Sundays I don't work, but during Youtober I do. I just do some computer work that's pretty chill on my couch, it's nothing too crazy. And I wrote out whatever I want to have done on my just days, which is going to be getting groceries, planning out my week, doing my laundry. I put clean apartment and then didn't even think about the fact that it won't even be my apartment. And then as for my daily schedule, so this is something that I started implementing back in the end of July, early August when I started working on Youtober. This has been such a saving grace. I'm telling you, this schedule, I plan on bringing it with me when I go to the East Coast and when I come back into Ottawa, because I feel like I finally cracked the code for what works for me. Now, this is definitely a daily schedule for somebody that works at home. So if you guys are still working at home, you could definitely try this schedule out, and I plan on doing a full routine video within Youtober with this schedule, so definitely check out for that. But basically, I just section off my day into 4-hour increments. I found this idea actually from Larissa, who sent me this TikTok of this girl that explained some sort of life cycles or some sort of whatevers. I started waking up at 6, getting all my heaviest and most complicated, the bigger tasks, the stuff that you don't want to do, the stuff that stresses you out. I do that in the first 4 hours of my day before I just make a coffee, sit down, and just hammer out 3 to 4 hours of work. And as soon as that's done, it's usually around 10 a.m. Then I get to do my morning routine, and making that flip of doing my work then and then my morning routine and then back to work and then off work again, that flow of just routine has made me so much more concentrated, so much more focused, rather than having morning and night to myself and then there's 8 hours in the middle of the day that I'm supposed to just constantly be focusing. So just to give you an idea, in the morning I call it manager mode. It's usually when I plan out my day, answer my emails the very first thing. I do my brainstorms for videos and things like that, or my research for videos or research for any content that I'm creating, and then scheduling videos and making thumbnails, things like that. Then from 10 to 2, I like to do my morning routine. So at 10 o'clock, I read and I meditate. At 11, I do yoga and I do a 45-minute workout. Lately, it's literally just been taking Bentley for a 45-minute walk because that's all I can really handle right now, but it's honestly been so good. At 12, I shower and I get ready. Then at 1, I have lunch. After lunch, I go back into work mode, and starting around 2 until 5 o'clock, I'll do all of my content creating, my editing, my bigger projects, because all of my smaller tasks were done in the morning. So I get to focus on bigger things. This is when my brain really gets to sink into what I'm doing. And then starting at 6, I usually have my dinner, and then a free time, an hour. I also put TV time there because I'm really trying to cut back on TV. Actually, I've really only watched an episode a day since I started doing Youtober, but it's my hour of the day, so I don't have to watch TV, but if I'm gonna watch TV, that's my hour that's scheduled off to do it. Then around 8 o'clock, I like to do just 45 minutes of restorative yoga. It's literally 6 poses that you hold for a long time, but it's really good for your autoimmune system and your stress levels and your muscles, your recovery. And then around 9 o'clock, I like to turn off all my tech, do my skincare routine, and then I'll usually climb into bed and either write or bullet journal if I'm feeling up to it, or just normal journal if I'm feeling up to it, and just kind of do something for an hour that's tech free. Sometimes I'll do some tarot. If I'm really tired, sometimes I've just lately with Youtober been going to bed at 9:30, not gonna lie. I kind of love it. Then the next 2 spreads that I find to be some of my favorites are my habit trackers and my mood boards. So this will be the 4th month I'm doing it this way, but I just love it. All you have to do is go across each day and put a dot, and it's really just more tracking the habit rather than feeling like you have to do all of these things. So I put in here days that I just eat at home, cook my own food, versus days that I order food. There might be times where I do have time to write. Posting to social media, I mean, it's Youtober, so I'm probably gonna be doing that mostly every single day, but I think that's more so for Instagram and things like that. I don't know how I'm gonna use it yet. Exercise, read, meditate, just wake up at 6, all of those are just habits that I'm trying to keep track of, just to see along the way what days, was I able to do it and what days was I not able to, because then you can flip to your day-to-day and kind of see what stopped you, what's getting in your way. The happy days tend to be the days that I drink 2 liters of water. It's you can start making those connections, which leads me to the mood board. I decided to do keys. I got these traceable things for my bullet journal because, like I said, I've been really getting into bullet journaling lately. I thought the keys were kind of fall-esque for some reason, also trying to manifest my new house. And each day you go in and color in the key with whatever mood you're feeling that day. And then after that, I just go straight into my daily logging. Now, I stopped doing weekly spreads because, like I said, I don't keep my work or any of my kind of to-do lists in here. This is kind of more so for me to keep track of my habits, to keep track of my schedules, my routines, just basically to keep track of myself. And then I like to use my iPhone notes and my Asana calendar to plan out all of my work, my content, and all of those things. I'm gonna grab my laptop, flip to film screen with you guys, and share with you guys now how I plan out all my work and my content. Okay, so let's dive into how I map out and plan all of my content. I use calendar because, obviously it's easy to see everything mapped out on the calendar. So that's all of my uploading schedule for September moving into Youtober. So it's quite busy. And then if you go over to board, so I have spent the last few months, like I mentioned, planning this out, or really kind of organizing this out. So this might look really intimidating at first, but this completed section is basically where everything goes once I mark it as complete. So for instance, if we go up to the front again, I have upload scheduled, which means that these videos have been either done or they're with my editor. Actually, these ones are, because they're coffee talks. But for the instance, this one has already gone live. So it's everything's kind of put here that I need, all my notes. I've sent the podcast, I have created the cover art, I uploaded the video, and I have responded to some of the comments. I basically made it a rule, like you can see up here, that when something is marked as complete, it goes put into the complete folder. Ideas that I come up with, I'll just kind of come in here. All you have to do is just duplicate task, And then if I have an idea for a KOZE kitchen, pumpkin muffins. And it'll just generate a completely new project for me that I can then go in and fill everything in. So everything that is underneath here, you'll notice, are basically tasks that are all part of creating a video. And I have that mapped out for my main ideas and vlog ideas as well, up into the KOZE blog or the monthly brews that I need to do next up /brainstorm. So what that means are these are videos that are ready or planning to be filmed this week, and I need to create the brainstorms for them. And once that's done, it gets moved over into here, editing, creating, and touch-ups. So it needs to go underneath all of these videos because these are all the videos that need to be edited first. So it's kind of like assembly line, if you notice. And so that is how I plan out all of my content, all of Youtober, and all of that good stuff. So there you guys have it. I hope you enjoyed today's plan with me and day 1 of Youtober. And I'll talk to all of you guys in day 2. Bye guys.